This is a big one. This is the one. This is the one. Is I want to talk about 7 mistakes that leaders should avoid making. And I was thinking back through my own personal career, and I've had many leaders who were amazing, and I had some people who were in leadership position, and maybe at the time that I encountered them, maybe they were going through some difficulties, or maybe they just lacked certain skills in leadership. With each of these leaders, what's something that they could have done better to help improve the situation for the employees as well as improve the situation for themselves? So the first mistake that leaders should avoid is being unethical. You do not want to be a leader that is doing things that are sneaky, that are cutting corners in a way that, okay, that's a bit shady. It might be even more than a bit shady. That's just wrong. That's just flat out wrong. As leaders, we want to make sure that we are people of integrity. We want our word to be bond. We want what we have to say for it to be valued, and we want to be able to bring our best to the table. So when we operate in integrity, we can trust ourselves and our teams can trust us as well. And then our customers can trust us and our leaders can trust us. So that's one of the things that we want to make sure. And that's one of the hallmarks of good leadership is going to be a person that has integrity, a person who does what they say, and a person who's not going to ask people to bend rules that should not be bent or that should not be broken or violated. Okay. One other thing I'm going to say is if you ever ask someone to do something that is outside of the rules, you need to be able to take ownership for that. Don't try to push that off on someone else. Just try to do your best to be as ethical as possible because then you don't have to worry about stuff coming back around. You don't have to worry about stuff coming back to nip you. I remember talking to an executive once, and they were sharing with me how in their organization, as you develop as a leader and you go higher up in the organization, that company would actually do a background check on the leaders once they got to a certain level. And I mean, going all the way down to talking to their kindergarten teacher, if their kindergarten teacher was still available. And that had to do largely with wanting to ensure that when that person got into that power position, nobody could try to do anything to blackmail them. And I thought that was a really wise practice. It's like once you get to a certain level, you have access to lots of assets and resources and knowledge and all of that. So why not protect the company by doing that background check? And of course, the person, I think they knew about it. Um, I think they knew about it. Not sure, but that might have been a part of the interview process, like they interview them and then they just do those deep background checks, which I think is really wise. So the second mistake that leaders should avoid is that they should care about their employees. So not caring about your employees is a really big deal, and you want to ensure that you value your employees. I was talking the other day about how I had a leader who every time she said my name, she mispronounced it, and as soon as she mispronounced it, I would correct her, and I didn't do it in a mean manner, just the tone I'm speaking in now. She would mispronounce it, and I would say Barika, but literally every time I talked to her, she mispronounced my name, and then she wondered why I left the company. We wanna show that we care about our employees, like, if they have stuff going on, we need to sympathize with them, we need to empathize with them, be there for them to the extent that you can and to the extent that is appropriate, because there is a place where you need to set boundaries, and there is a time for you to say, "Okay, yes, I can be here for you," or "No, this is something you kinda have to work out on your own, but I am rooting for you." Even if you can't do anything for them, let them know that you are rooting for them. The third mistake that you don't want to make as a leader is to not have a stress management plan in place, because stress is going to come to all of us as leaders. There's just going to be pressure that comes down. And when that comes down, we have to have healthy ways to manage that stress. So whether that's taking time off, whether that's going on vacation, taking a lunch break, wrapping it up for the day, whether saying I need to go work out, I need to go have some R&R, I need to take a nap. Sometimes a good nap will do you good, or saying I need some rest. So I remember hearing somebody say this a while ago, and they said, don't make decisions when you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. Those are the worst times to make decisions. And as leaders, if we make decisions, if we're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, so it's like HALT is the acronym, then it impacts other people. So we don't want to make those kind of decisions, because the decisions that we make, especially when we're not in the right mind frame, can really have a negative impact on our team and on our organization. So we want to come to work with as fresh of a mind as possible, with as positive of an attitude as possible, and just bringing our best self to the table. Okay. Number 4, this is a big one. This is the one. This is the one. Not having proper leadership training. Okay. I'm big on this. And this is part of why I have Simply Unique Coaching, is because I am here to help leaders, especially if they were thrown into the leadership position and they just said, hey, you're great at doing X. Why don't you take this leadership position? And yes, you are great at doing X, but leadership is a totally different set of skills, because doing your own work just for yourself, but having to help motivate people and get people to follow you to do something else, that is a different skill set. And can it be developed? Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the worst things that can happen is for you to be in a leadership position for an extended period of time and really not know what you need to do and what you need to focus on. So that's why I'm here. That's why I have the 90-day leadership boot camp. That's why I have the new leader mini course, all of these other items that we offer, because we want to help support you in your leadership journey. You do not have to lead on your own. You do not have to lead by yourself. And it's better to have someone on your side who wants to see you succeed than to try to just struggle. Listen, I have 15 years of leadership experience. I have led over 10 teams. I literally was just offered another leadership opportunity just recently. So what I want to say is just make sure that you are doing your best, that you are bringing your best to the table, and that you are investing in yourself as a leader. Okay. Do it the easy way. Don't do it the hard way. Don't learn everything by trial and error. Some things are going to come by trial and error, but you can get some lessons by just learning from other people who've already gone in front of you. Here is another leadership mistake that you want to avoid, which is having favorites. Do not, do not, do not, do not have favorites. That can come back and seriously bite you. Even if there's somebody on your team and you're like, that person's just amazing, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. You can compliment them, of course, but just don't compliment that one person. Compliment everybody on your team as you see like they're doing great work, and doing it genuinely is going to lend to more positive results. Okay. So the more that we focus on the positive, the more positive we're going to get. If we focus on the negative, the more negative we're going to get. So we don't want to have favorites. We don't want to have cliques. We don't want to have groups of people who are in the in crowd and then another group or a person who's on the out crowd and that kind of thing. We just don't want to do that. We want everyone to feel comfortable coming to work. We want everyone to feel like they can come in and do their best and that they are welcome to be on the team. Okay. This one's big. This one's big. So this one, hear my heart. So for number 6, and this one is like, my heart goes like on this one, because I have when it comes to leadership, we need to be prepared for our success as leaders. There are difficulties you can encounter before you become a leader, but there are difficulties that you will encounter after you become a leader. And remember earlier, I talked about being prepared for the pressure or for stress as a leader. And we have to have those healthy ways of doing that in order to avoid having problems in other areas later on. So when people don't properly handle stress as leaders, then when they experience success or when they experience certain things in their leadership position, it can cause for some really bad situations, because then what happens, and I've seen it happen, is like these bad habits can come out. And with those bad habits coming out, then it just taints their whole experience and their whole leadership journey and their whole reputation. And I don't want that to be you. I don't want that to be me. I definitely don't want that to be me, and I don't want it to be you. So just make sure that as you're looking to operate in integrity and as you're looking to be able to manage stress as a leader, just make sure that you're also preparing yourself for, when I get this leadership position, people are going to be looking at me, eyes are going to be on me. So you don't want to make it that you're being like, oh, I have to be perfect at everything. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is just make sure that if you have bad habits in your personal life, just make sure you try to get those under control, because there is a saying that says everything that's done in the dark comes out in the light, and you just don't want to have scandals. That's the best way to say it. You just don't want to have any leadership scandals. You don't want to have something where someone can come back and blackmail you and say, oh, 20 years ago, you posted this picture or you sent me this picture, and all of a sudden they come back and they just be wise. And please talk to people you know too, especially younger people. Just tell them, just be wise. Just make good choices that they don't have to worry about things coming back later on in life. So the seventh mistake that we want to avoid as leaders is we don't want to lead from our emotions. Our emotions lie. Emotions are big liars. Oh my goodness. Like when we're happy, we can be awesomely happy. Have you ever had a day like that where you just woke up and you were just, oh, I'm happy and life is good and everything's amazing. And then just like one thing happens and then you're just like, oh, you're thinking like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. And really, just like one thing, bad thing happened. Like you had one a bad 5 minutes and then it ended up lasting all day. So what we want to do is make sure that we are able to manage our emotions as leaders, because one thing I talk about is you will have some people that can pick up on your emotional state, and everyone doesn't do the right thing when they pick up on it. Some people will pick up on it and say, okay, well, I need to give them some space, or okay, well, let me just come back around another time or something like that. But then you have some people who say, ooh, they're on edge. Let me see if I can bump it up. And so they might see that you're on edge and then they're just wanting to bring this problem to you and that problem to you. And I remember literally sitting in a meeting once and watching a person intentionally poke the leader. And she just had this smirk on her face because she thought it was the funniest thing. And I remember sitting in that meeting thinking, like, does anybody else see what's happening here? Like, she is intentionally like the leader's all like wound up and the other person's just getting a kick out of it. Just like, I know I can say this one thing to her and it just sets her off. And the leader had no clue. The leader had absolutely no clue. So we want to be careful. We want to not fall into our emotions. Like emotions are thermometers. They tell us when things are good and they tell us when we need to address things, but we should not be leading out of our emotions all the time because that's just not wise. It's not safe. If you're in a positive mind frame, that's okay. But then when you get into that negative mind frame, if you find that when you are in a bad mood that you start to treat people differently, I want you to work on that. I'm just going to say it plainly. I want you to work on that. That is not okay. Flat out. That's not okay. So that is what I'm going to say about that. I hope that you have a great day. I hope that you have a blessed week and take care.